Hey, ladies, welcome back. Welcome back to the mini series that I am calling the Becoming an Unapologetic and Unstoppable Woman. So, welcome. Today is the third training that we're just kind of diving into. This is my proven principles for how I've been able to collapse time, get shit done, and actually live my most unapologetic dream life ever. Okay, so we are on session three. If you missed session one or two, go back, right? Follow it. That's why I ask you guys to subscribe to these videos because every day you will get notified then of when there is a new training for you. So go ahead and just subscribe to the Alpha Queen Collective channel right now. We'd love to have you subscribe so that you can comment and DM and like all of the things. All right. Okay, so you made the decision, or at least you got very clear on the decision that you need to make. You started understanding where you are being a princess versus a queen and really understanding that ownership is the key to unlocking your freedom. And now I bet you're still not consistent with what it is that you want to do every day. Well, welcome to episode three, ladies, of the Laws of Iconic Leadership. And today we are talking about the one thing most women avoid: discipline. Not the forced kind, the embodied kind. And please stay with me because I'm going to give you some resources on how you can start to become more consistent and disciplined as a woman. Okay. So let's be honest though, you don't probably have a motivational problem. You have a follow through problem. So if I had to guess, you probably get an idea or you want to achieve a goal or you have a dream and you start off really strong, you get really excited, you're all in, and then a couple of weeks later, life hits, you disappear, you stop posting, you stop leading, you stop doing the things that you said you were going to do. And then you tell yourself, oh, I just need to get back to it. No, you need to become someone who doesn't fall off or who doesn't allow herself to spiral after one hiccup, one distraction, one life be life in moment. Okay. So you're trying to change your life through intensity. I see this all the time, right? Women are making big moves, they're making big plans, they have this big energy, but zero consistency, zero follow through. You say you're going to do it, but you don't actually do it. You think discipline means doing everything perfectly, but it doesn't. Discipline is repetition. It's showing up even when things get boring, when it's inconvenient, when no one is watching you. But instead, you negotiate with yourself. You say things like, I'll do it later. I'll start again on Monday. I just need to feel more aligned. It's not the right time. I don't have time. I don't have the money, right? We start telling ourselves these stories so that it feels better than just saying, yeah, I am not disciplined and I need to be a more disciplined woman. Okay. That's way harder to hear because you're starting to take ownership the fact that you're not disciplined. You're not doing what you said you were going to do. So it's way easier to just say, you know what? It's just, not really in alignment with me anymore, or I'll do that later, or I'll get to that later, or again, I'll just start on Monday, right? So you're breaking trust with yourself when you do this, though, ladies. And every time you do that, your internal identity, your self-image takes a hit. Okay. So inconsistency is not harmless. It's really expensive, actually. In business, inconsistency costs you visibility. It can cost you clients. It can cost you income, right? Well, you're out watching other coaches kill it and have 10, 20, 30, $100,000 months. You're over like, I don't know what she's doing that I'm not. Well, the magic here is that she's doing the thing. Okay. She's actually putting herself out there. She's actually making sales calls. She's actually speaking on stages. She's taking risks. She's doing the thing. Action, right? She's doing it. She's structured. She's disciplined. In leadership, this kind of looks like in leadership, you being inconsistent is it erodes trust and people feel it. Okay, so maybe you have a team and you say one thing on a meeting, and then 2 weeks later, you're not following through, you're not holding them accountable, it's inconsistent. Okay, they don't trust you as a leader. Maybe in your life, right? It keeps you stuck in cycles you've already outgrown. But guys, the biggest cost to inconsistency is that you start to stop believing yourself. right? Internally, subconsciously, you're telling yourself, even though you don't really hear this, right? But you're saying, your body is saying, my word doesn't really matter. I don't follow through anyways. I quit when things get hard. And once that identity locks in, everything becomes even harder. You start to associate yourself with that type of woman. I'm just not disciplined. Since when? Right? Since you started telling yourself that story and now you believe that shit? Stop telling yourself these things. Okay. Because I bet if I said, oh, but are you disciplined with taking care of your kids? Are you disciplined with doing the work that you do or whatever? You would say, absolutely. So you're not disciplined. You're just not disciplined with the things that are actually mattering to you, probably, right? Your priorities, your core power hours. Okay. Now, after I made the decision to change my life, and then I started taking radical self-responsibility for my own life, I did what most women do. I tried to change several things all in a shorter amount of time, right? I was like new habits, new routines, new standards. And at first, guys, it was very overwhelming. And then something clicked. And this isn't necessarily about doing more. That's what I realized. I was like, wow, me losing weight, me, growing my company, me, making my relationship a priority. It's not about doing everything all at once. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that women try and do is they try and overhaul their entire area of life that they're wanting to do better in. But you have to remember that this is not about doing more. It's about doing less consistently. So instead of overhauling my entire life, I choose a couple of things. So when I was losing weight, I chose to move my body every day and to control my portions. When I was in business, I chose to focus on my sales activities that actually drives conversations, sales calls, and sales. And I chose to show up visibly all the time, right? Say yes to any opportunity, whether it was a book, a stage, a podcast, a PR piece, whatever. I said, I'm going to say yes to everything that will put me in front of a bigger audience. Okay, that's it. Two things, right? Sales and visibility. And boom, self-made millionaire. Okay. I tell you this, guys, because you have to show up consistently. It's not about doing 1,000 things half-ass. It's about doing the couple of things done well. Okay. That's it. I always tell my clients success is not sexy. Growing a company is not necessarily sexy. It's showing up, doing the things every day to get you the result. So is losing weight. So is, working on your relationships. So is being a mom, right? It's consistency. It's like, come on, if you tell your kid they can't have Jello and then an hour later they have Jello, they like your word means nothing to them. Okay. So they know that eventually that you're going to cave and give them Jello. So consistency, right? With accountability, like all of those things, it's all needing to be done consistently. And that's iconic leadership. So I want you to start thinking about what are the things that you actually need to do consistently. And if you came up with a list of like 5 to 10 or 20 things, or maybe even 100 things like I did back in the day, I want you to just cross out everything that won't actually move the needle forward right now. And I just want you to pick two things. For me, it was the body movement and there was portion control. What are your things? I'd love to know. Drop them in the comment section below. Okay. But once you pick those two things, guys, they have to become non-negotiable for you. Not when I feel like it, not when it's going to be convenient, not when I feel motivated. Fuck that. You're not going to always feel motivated and you cannot always rely on positive feelings to get you there. You have to get structured and disciplined with the things you say you're going to do. And the more than likely you're not doing it is because you're trying to do too many things. Like I said, it's the number one problem for women feeling very overwhelmed with their trying to change their life or reach a goal. So non-negotiable, again, it's like a solid boundary, not when I feel like it, not when it's convenient, every freaking day. The messy days, the hard days, the exhausted days, you're going to show up. If it's raining outside, it doesn't matter. I'm either getting my ass into the gym or I'm going for a walk, right? So it does not matter. The habit stays the same. And even when I travel internationally, guys, it stays the same. Okay, just because I go on a vacation and I'm 7 days in Jamaica doesn't mean that I'm not going to get up in the morning and go work out. Like that's a part of my lifestyle. It's a non-negotiable. Now I may shift it. I may sleep until like 8 in the morning and then go instead of the average 3:45 in the morning alarm clock. But you see what I'm saying? The day starts with body movement. The day then starts with is followed then by, spiritual practice, my EFT, my meditation. So it's not that I change my complete life for the week that I'm in Jamaica. I just shift everything that is still important to me. Okay. So I show up, and that's what you're going to need in order to get what you want. And I know it's really uncomfortable and it may even be triggering you, and you're probably like, but, I don't care. At the end of the day, the difference between someone who's reaching their goals and someone who's wishing for them is the person who's going to show up consistently with discipline. And you know that, and I know that. Discipline is not about motivation, it's about who you are when motivation disappears. I see this with high level women that I work with constantly. They want the next level of success, but their habits don't match it. I had a client, super brilliant, super driven, already pretty successful, but totally inconsistent. She was posting for a week and then gone, selling hard, launching and then silent, starting something fun and then stopping. And it was frustrating her. Guys, it was frustrating her. She knew exactly what she needed to do, but she wasn't doing it. That is why the law of embodied discipline, okay, universal law number three, there are 10, by the way. Number three is incredible because identity, your life, your goals, your dreams are built one rep, one habit at a time, 1%, right? Not in the big breakthroughs, not in the motivation, but in repetition. Iconic leaders, right? Female women who are iconic don't rely on feeling ready. They rely on standards. They don't negotiate with themselves, they follow through. Because discipline is not something you do occasionally, it's something you become disciplined. Okay. So every day when that alarm goes off at 3:45, does that little voice inside my head that says, just sleep 20 more minutes? Yes, of course, I'm a human. I'm not a freaking AI robot. However, I've learned to hear that voice and say, well, Carissa, you can, how about this? You can go 5 seconds and then your ass is getting out of bed, right? I'm not getting out of bed because I feel like it at 4 in the morning when it's freezing out or whatever. I get out of bed because I'm disciplined and that's just my life, right? It's something I become. I'm a very disciplined woman. Back to my mentor, I was having lunch with her, total side note. I was having lunch with her a couple of weeks ago and she said, you know what I notice about you, Carissa? She's like, you have your hands in all kinds of amazing things, and you're doing like global work and humanitarian work, and you're just named Mrs. Nebraska and like all of the things, right? And she said, how do you maintain your sanity? Like, how do you still stay so healthy? Like all of the things. And I said, well, honestly, I said, it comes down to my habits, my routines, and my rituals. She's like, you know what? You're absolutely right. She's like, you are the most disciplined woman that I have ever known. And that was like such a beautiful compliment because there was once a time that I was not disciplined, y'all. I slept till 9 in the morning. I drank every day. I smoked. I was not disciplined. I didn't work out, right? I was total opposite of who I am. So just because I believe that story to be true one time doesn't mean I have to believe it forever, right? It's all about your belief system. So here's where most women get wrong. They think I just need to be more disciplined. No, you need more, you don't need more discipline. You need better standards because you can try harder and still fail. You can push more, hustle, grind, and still burn out. So the real shift is honestly choosing what actually matters to you and locking it in. And right now, you don't just trust yourself to do that yet. That's the gap. You don't trust yourself that you can even keep your own word anymore. This is exactly why I created the Habit Embodiment resource, and it is available over in the Alpha Queens Rising community. It's my free space that I've created for women to come and connect and get, dive into the additional resources, the additional trainings, more meditations. It's a place for you to come and find sisterhood and support, honestly. Okay. And it's called Alpha Queens Rising. It's not a Facebook group. It's not a LinkedIn group. It's my own community off of social media. Why? Because social media is the biggest distraction for so many people. Hence why they don't have any time. I'm like, wow, how much time did you spend on social media today? Okay, all right, you guys. So just let me close with this: is you don't need more motivation. You need to follow through. You need standards. You need to build the habits and the reps to become a disciplined woman because iconic women, they don't start and stop everything all the time. They freaking show up again and again and again and again. And that's what makes them unstoppable. All right. So join me tomorrow for another amazing universal law reveal. And I'm so excited to tell you more about it. There's a tool, there's a law, there's a story, all of it. And most importantly, guys, when a woman masters these laws, she becomes unapologetically unstoppable. So if that's you, definitely come over to our Alpha Queens Rising community. If you're like, I need a fucking coach like you in my life, Carissa, like someone who's got my back, someone who's going to hold me accountable, someone's going to create the plan for me, someone's going to help me with the internal stuff. hello, book a clarity call with me. I mean, you got to take ownership of where you're at, right? And the fact that you keep saying that you're going to just figure it out on your own is not working for you. So if you are looking for a empowerment coach, to kind of guide you, lead you, mentor you into greatness, book a call with me. That 15-minute conversation is, I won't say it's free because it's our time and time is valuable, but it could be one of the biggest 15-minute shifts of your entire life. All right. Okay, ladies, I will see you tomorrow. And of course, if you love this series, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and let me know how you are enjoying it so far. All right. Bye for now.